Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a very exciting video. I feel like every video is exciting. I'm going to be reviewing my Chanel flats that I just got recently. If you guys are subscribed to me, then you will have seen that I bought these flats back in I think end of March, early April, and I have been wearing the hell out of them. Case in point, the soles are pretty much wrecked, and to be honest, I probably should get them sold. I think I will be bringing them into Canis at some point to get them to put on a sole, but I really just wanted to break them in so that I could comfortably wear them throughout the summer, and I didn't want to sacrifice leaving them there for about like 3 weeks or so before I could wear them again, so yeah, I just haven't brought them in yet. But as the title says, today's video is all about these flats, my thoughts on them, and if I would still purchase them after having worn the hell out of them for the past couple of months. So long story short, I got the lambskin ballet flats with the patent cap toe. Apparently they are no longer currently producing the lambskin cap toe because customers were complaining that it was getting damaged, but I feel like I just saw them recently on the site, so I don't know how true that is, if they're slowly starting to bring them in or if it's just dependent on location, but either way, this is the one I got. I was actually on the fence between getting the quilted leather. The quilted leather is the lambskin, but it also has a soft lambskin cap toe as well, or it might be the gross green one. I'm not 100% sure. I thought that this was a little bit more formal and I could get away with wearing this with dresses and jeans and look a little bit more put together, elegant and chic, as opposed to the quilted one, which is why I went for this first. Maybe down the road, if I like them a lot or like enough, I'll get them in a variety of colors. To be honest, now that I have my first pair, I can truthfully say that I love them as much as I love my Oron slides, but I can understand why people have a collection of these. The shoes themselves, how much did I pay for them? They're around like $1,000. I believe they were $9.75 for this simple style, and then $10.25 for the quilted. I'm not exactly sure, but essentially around like $1,000 for a pair of these, and that's in USD, so it amounts to quite a bit in Canadian, almost like $1,400-$1,500. If you were to get it in Canada, I believe it's actually a little bit cheaper. It might be like $12.75 or something like that. I'm not exactly sure off the top of my head the math right now, and the prices constantly go up at Chanel, so it's not really much of a reference point for me to tell you how much it is in either. Just to put it in your head for perspective, it's around like $1,000 for a pair of shoes. Now I essentially paid half price for these because I had some gift cards to use, so that was to my benefit. I, at that point when I bought them, had no intentions of going to Europe, which is typically where I prefer to go to get my designer purchases, and because I really wanted them for the summer, I figured let's just get them now because I have some gift cards and it's essentially cheaper than if I was to buy it in Europe. That being said, it definitely is cheaper to buy it in Europe, so if you have access to the pricing there, if you're gonna be going for the summer, save up and purchase it there. They weren't always this price though. I definitely do remember them being a lot more affordable. I wouldn't even say affordable, like cheaper a couple of years back. I'm pretty sure they were like $6.95 a pair, and they've just really jumped up in price in the past couple of years. I mean, Chanel in general has just really hiked up their prices like crazy recently, so now is a better time than ever to get them because by next year the prices will probably have gone up even more. So if you can get it now, I'd suggest getting it now. Otherwise, get them on consignment from some secondhand store if you're okay with getting used shoes, but a lot of the times you can actually come across these shoes in really good condition, so it's not too bad if you were to get it on consignment. Now that we have price out of the way, let's talk a little bit about the materials of the shoes. So leather on the top here, interior is also leather for the sole all the way around. This is patent, and then the sole under here I believe is also cured leather. It's a really solid and well-made shoe, and one of the biggest fears that I had with these, with flats in general, that I don't personally like is when you see toe cleavage. Surprisingly though, the top of this covers quite a bit and not a single peep of toe cleavage comes out whenever I wear them. It's fully covered, actually quite classy, and you can get away with wearing this to more like formal events, like a shower of some sort if you need to and you don't want to wear flats. Like on a day where I wouldn't want to wear my Oron slides or my Oasis like mules, I'd probably gravitate for this if I wanted something a little bit flatter, which is why I think I actually will go back and get these in a couple more colors. Construction wise, it's really well made, super durable. Obviously, depending on the material, it will be a little bit tighter than others. Like I know the patent leather ones do not have as much stretch, so the toe box was quite tight the first couple of times I wore it compared to the other ones that do have leather toe caps, that like soft leather. It's a lot easier to get into and a lot more flexible on your feet. And then when it comes down to materials such as leather versus fabrics, the leather, if it's soft, will stretch maybe about like a quarter up to a half size once you start wearing it, compared to patent, which is gonna really only give you like maybe a quarter of a size up if you're lucky. And then the fabric doesn't even give you much of a stretch at all because there is no stretch really in the fabric. So if you're gonna get like a boucle one, don't anticipate a lot of stretch in that. The only one you're gonna gonna get a lot of stretch out of probably is gonna be the smooth leather, and it's not like significant enough that you should size down. I would definitely say like get your true size or like a half size up, to be very honest. I found that these were quite narrow. If you have a wide foot, these are not going to do well with your feet. I'm not sure if Chanel provides a wider format for these shoes. I just went ahead with this one because I have quite narrow feet myself, so I've never had to really ask about that. But I actually got a size 36 and a half. I'm pretty much a true size 36 when it comes to European sizing, and I tried it on, and because this had a patent toe cap compared to the other ones that didn't, when I tried a 36 on in this versus the other ones, this is like a tiny bit tighter, so I wanted to have a little bit of wiggle room in my feet so that they wouldn't get bruised and my nail beds wouldn't like push up against this, because this is fairly tight. Now I've worn these quite a bit and they've stretched out like a tiny bit so far. I'd say like maybe an eighth or like at most a quarter of the shoe size, but 36 and a half was the perfect size for me to wear these shoes on without the back of my heel slipping out and without the back of this rubbing in up against my heel. So personally for myself, I sized up a half size, but I think it really depends on the material of the shoe, so definitely go on and try these on in boutique. They're different. Like I tried on a variety of styles and each of them fit differently depending on what the material was, so it's hard for me to necessarily say you need to get it in this style. For myself, in the smooth leather, I went a half size up and it was perfect. Now in terms of wearability, is this easy to wear out right away on the first day that you get them? I mean, I did. I walked all around Santa Monica and Melrose with them, and yes, they did kind of hurt a little bit because when it comes to breaking in any new pair of shoes, unless it's like sneakers or something, but I have been burned by sneakers before, I always find that there's like that 3 to 5 hour break-in period that you really need to put into the shoe to make sure it molds to your feet and is softened enough that it doesn't hurt you for future wears. This one I definitely did when I was in LA. The top here where the patent is, like I said, it's really stiff, so you don't have a lot of flexibility within the toe box area. If you have long toenails, consider your toenails probably in pain by the end of this. If you really walk more on the top of your foot as opposed to the whole bed of your foot, then it's gonna cause quite a bit of pain as well too. But I did notice that even after wearing the hell out of these, there's barely any sort of creasing across the top in this soft leather here. It's actually really minor. There's like a couple at most, but that's it. For the most part, this shoe kept its shape really well, and it has been broken into now that I've worn them for a couple of months. Now, would I recommend getting these soled on the bottom? Yes. At first, I thought I could get away without getting them soled, but after wearing them for the past like 2 months pretty much non-stop, I've noticed that the sole is starting to fade away quite a bit, and I think if I continue to wear these throughout the summer, they're gonna get really damaged to the point where the sole is gonna be pretty much gone, and for $1,000 shoe, you want to be able to keep wearing them. So as with any of my designer shoes, I will most likely take these into Caners, located on Bloor in Toronto, and get them resold. They usually run anywhere from $40 to $60 depending on the width and the thickness of the sole that you want done, and if you just want the top or also the heel done as well. I think the heel will last a little while longer. I usually really eat into the soles of my shoes on the top part, so I'll probably just get this done for now and monitor this. If this starts to show any major signs of wearing, then I'll just bring it back and get it in at that point. So comfort levels. Now that I've actually really broken this shoe in quite a bit, I actually find them very comfortable. I don't sweat in these when I wear them, even though it's like a full leather sole on the inside, and I've worn these on some like really hot days when you can probably feel your feet getting sweaty. For some reason, I don't know why, there's no ventilation built into this, but my feet just like don't get sweaty and they don't get smelly, so I'm very grateful for that. If yours does, totally different story, but for me, I haven't had any issues with that so far. Besides the fact, I don't find that they get sticky or uncomfortable or chafe even more in the summer months when it's hotter outside when I'm wearing them, even though I broke them in. And now that they're comfortable and they've pretty much molded to my feet, I kind of feel like they're almost second skin, and they're really nice on the feet. There's no chafing around any of the gloss grain ribbon across the top here. Usually I experience a little bit on the top of the foot where it rubs in when you're bending your foot. Sometimes I also get a little bit on the heel here as well, but I've had zero issues with these shoes, zero sort of like bruising, blisters, rubbing up against the back of my heels, and even when I was breaking them in, no problems there. I think that now that I've broken them in, they don't even like rub against my feet like at all in any manner, so I can just wear them and they don't slip out, they stay on, and it's very comfortable of a shoe. Would I recommend wearing these for long term? I think yeah, I've definitely worn them out for like almost a 12-hour day before and have gone home by the end of the night with no issues at all. It's definitely a workhorse of a shoe. It's comfortable, you can wear it, and that's to say a lot for a designer shoe, because the majority of the time I find that designer shoes are actually not quite comfortable. Most of them just look pretty and they're not exactly the most functional. So for this being such a comfortable shoe, it makes sense that people have a whole collection of them, and I understand why they buy a variety of them. Like once you find a shoe that works and the silhouette is comfortable, you just keep buying it because you don't want to get burned by other shoes that are just not comfortable. So would I recommend these shoes? I would say at full price it gets quite expensive in North America. If you have access to purchasing this in Europe, then definitely do that because you're going to save yourself quite a bit of money. Would I say get the fun colors or any like crazy textures or patterns? It really depends what your needs are. I wanted a simple pair of black ballet flats that I could wear every day, like day to day, with a variety of different outfits, which is specifically why I chose this silhouette. Black on black goes with everything. The cap toe makes it look a little bit more formal, so I can wear this with dresses and dress up an outfit like if I want to wear trousers. I like that it's a slight almond toe. It's not too pointed nor is it too rounded, so it doesn't look too severe or too juvenile. It's like literally the perfect curve, I would say. If you're gonna go black on black, this is definitely the one to get. Otherwise, if they do ever release like a soft leather on soft leather cap toe, then get that one too because it's much more forgiving, it's softer, more flexible, and will mold to your feet a little bit faster. I didn't experience any pain with these shoes at all, so I would say it doesn't take too long to break them in. They're fairly comfortable, and the only thing that comes with this as like a con is that you will have to get them resoled just because the sole is quite thin on the bottom. I'm gonna definitely keep in mind any other future releases if I want to add them to my collection because I just love how they fit so much and they look so classy with an outfit that I could definitely see myself getting a couple more and some fun colors. I would love to get like a yellow, like a nice little pastel to wear in the summertime, or a fun tweed color just to like dress up a monochromatic outfit. I think that would be really, really fun. And then now that I know I like these so much, I would definitely consider the stacked heel version, even though I don't necessarily like slides or like slip-ons with the slingbacks just because they always fall down the back of my heels. But these are such a comfy silhouette and are really cute, dainty, feminine. I love the little bow at the top, really adorable, that I can see myself adding a lot more of these into my collection in the near future. So I hope that helped you guys if you are currently on the market for a brand new pair of Chanel ballet flats, or you've been hemming and hawing and considering getting yourself a pair. Definitely a splurge that I think is well worth its money. They're great, they're durable, they feel like they're gonna last quite a while. It's such a classic and timeless look, silhouette, design, style that I don't think it would ever necessarily leave your closet and wardrobe. Flats are really popular right now too, so you can get probably a lot of wear out of it over the next couple of years and then just shove it into the back of your closet if you're not keen on flats anymore, and just leave it there for a couple more years until it cycles back into the fashion cycle, as things always do. So I feel like they were very popular back when I was in university, and that would have been like 2010 to 2014, and now we're 2024, so essentially like 10 odd some years or so. But yeah, so I hope you guys really enjoyed this review and found it helpful. Let me know if there's any other questions that you may have in regards to my Chanel ballet flats. I love them. I hope you guys enjoyed them as well too. And if you guys also love them as well, let me know down below in the comments what kind of colors you really like. Are you more like the fun, flirty gal, which likes to play with a lot of different like playful colors? Or are you more like the classic, timeless chic and you go for like the blacks, whites, the neutrals? What side are you on? Or are you like a mix of like everything? I feel like I have most of my bases covered when it comes to shoes now, that I can definitely start foraying out into like the fun, playful colors, just so I have some pops of like brightness to add to my outfits, because majority of my outfits are pretty monochromatic and the shoes are the fun and playful way to do. That just might be next on my list of Chanel flats to get, colorful ones. I hope you guys have an amazing day. As always, if you guys want to see more of me, you can follow me on Instagram or on TikTok, where I post a little bit more frequently than YouTube. Otherwise, I hope you guys are having an awesome day and I will see you in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.